I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of. Can you imagine if Puff get released and you hear this song in the background? Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits. No forgiving my mistakes. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. I'm going home tomorrow. No, I don't mean that I'm dying. Some people be like, oh yeah, he predicted his own death. He said he's going home. No, I'm going home. I haven't been home since we buried my dad. We buried my dad last year in September. In the month end of September. The 1st of October, that's when I came this side. So I never really got time to be with my family. So I will be making my videos at home. Some of y'all have been asking, yo, yeah, when are you gonna make, your walk and talk videos in the bushes? Like where I am at, there's no bushes, right? So, but at home there is. So I will be able to make my walk and talk videos, videos that actually made this channel what it is. That's what people knew about my channel, that I'll be working in the bushes. And yeah, it was fun. And the message, it was a bit different because it depends on where you're recording your videos, right? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like if I'm making a video in my room, it's gonna be different from videos that I make when I'm outside, right? When I'm live, it's gonna be different from like when I'm just making a video. You know what I mean? So yeah, I will be making my walk and talk videos. It's gonna be interesting because I haven't done that in like in the bushes in like forever now. I was thinking about Pavi's case. Pav might get released. The whole world judged Pav. The whole world judged Pav. But there's something that no one was saying. About Pav. I'll tell you what no one was actually saying about Pav. But first I want to talk about God, the kind of God that everyone believes in. Like when everyone says, when like a celebrity wins an award and say they thank God, which God are they thanking? It's like we all kind of have the same idea of God, even if we believe in different religion, right? We believe that He's all powerful, all knowing, all loving. He created us for a good reason. He didn't create us to torture us, to make us suffer. So He's good, and He has a plan. We're not just here living meaningless lives. Like He knows what He's doing. He's much wiser than all of us. So He knows exactly what He's doing. He has our best interest at heart. Even if things don't make sense today, things will make sense in the end. I'll be able to look at my life and be like, wow, what a life I've lived. But I understand why I had to go through the things that I went through. If you have a terminal illness, you know, maybe you don't understand now. And then you die, and then everything starts to make sense. Oh, this is why I had to go through this. This reminds me of a scene from, I'm not sure if it was Matrix Reloaded or Revolution. Neo was talking to the Oracle. The Oracle was sitting on a chair and Neo was standing. The Oracle was like, take a seat. And Neo refused. And then he said, do you know if I'm gonna, I don't know if he refused actually, but he asked her, do you know if I'm gonna see it or not? And she said, I wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't. And I was like, okay, if you know, how do I have a choice? And she said, you still don't get it. You didn't come here to make a choice. You have already made a choice. You came here to understand why you made a choice, right? So, you chose your life. You don't know why you chose your life, but when you wake up, you understand why you chose your life. When you die, when it's all explained, like you actually here for good. That's what a lot of people believe, right? That this is gonna make sense. You're going to look at God and just be grateful and love Him, right? And even feel His love. You know, there are people who say they've had near-death experiences, and they say the amount of love that they felt, you know, they've never felt anything remotely close to the amount of love that they felt in the afterlife. If God is all powerful, He can do anything, right? He can manipulate reality the way that He wants. He can wipe off my memories completely. He can make me believe that something happened even if it hasn't, right? Like He can do anything. He could be here right now and I don't even see Him. He's more powerful than Puff. Why am I talking about Puff? Okay. What I've noticed about this world is that hierarchy is important. And even the people who hate hierarchy, they actually behave as if they don't. What do I mean? You do not treat that homeless guy in the street with the same respect that you treat someone you consider to be powerful, more powerful than you. Even if you don't like that person. You see, there are people who hate Drake. There are people who hate Drake. There are people who are happy that Drake got bodied. But you think if they met Drake, they will treat him like they hate him? As humans, we might like to think that we are good. We're on top of the animal hierarchy. We can get away with like almost anything, really. We are the ones who are protecting these animals from ourselves. We do what we want with these animals. Does that make us evil? It's a very important question. If God is all powerful and He's above all of us, does it make Him evil to treat us the way that He treated us? Let's go to power. Someone said, if you have never been in a position where you have enough power to do something that is wrong, you will judge those who do these things. But the difference between you and them is that you do not have the power. So you might think I'm a good person, right? You could look at someone who, committed a crime, and you feel like you're better than them. You find that you would have committed the same crime in the same situation. Maybe you are committing crimes. that you can commit now. Maybe there are things that you're doing that are, you know what I'm saying? And if you got to have the power that they have, you will do much worse. So the only difference is that you do not have the power. Because human beings do not treat animals, animals, they believe that, that are conscious. They believe that these animals are conscious. They have their own needs. They have their own wants. They want to be freed. We don't treat them that way. Most of us. Maybe if you have a dog, you're treating that dog well. But what about some random insect that you see somewhere? Like, do you mind it killing it? You don't even feel anything. So if God is big, if God is more powerful, can we judge him based on human emotions? Can we judge him at the same level that we judge one another? Right? This is a very important question. Maybe he's earned the right to do things that we may consider to be moral because of how powerful he is. Now, I want to be fair on this video. I want to show you something. If you pay attention to Puff Daddy's case, a lot of people who were involved, they did these weird things that Puff was doing. Even if they're going to say they didn't do, some of them will say they didn't do these things willingly. But you could see when you look at everything that there was a certain level of willingness. Like, someone like Casey wouldn't do what she did with Puff with me or with someone on my level, right? In terms of hierarchy, she wouldn't. She wouldn't, if she knew me like personally, she would walk around talking about me like, oh, do you hear what Benedict, she wouldn't just put it that way. She'd be like, oh, I'm shocked. Benedictine said this, he's horrible, he's this, you know what I'm saying? But it's Puff. Puff is rich. I'm not saying Casey is guilty or she's never went through the things that she went through, but her reaction to suggestions that Puff had in the beginning wouldn't have been the same. Like, listen, like if I was the one who was asking, it's just how it is. It's just human nature, right? So there are people that we just put up there naturally as humans. We give them too much power. We give them ourselves. You know what I'm saying? If someone is powerful and they have money, it's much easier for us to give them, to give ourselves up to them. So what really runs the world is power. So if I'm not powerful and I see someone who's powerful doing some things that are questionable, I might feel like I'm a good person because I've not done these things. While the real truth is that I've never had an opportunity to do these things. Maybe if I had the opportunity, I would do much worse. This reminds me of the movie Megamind. So there was this guy who was a cameraman for this reporter. He had a crush on this reporter. Like, he loved her. It seemed like a good guy. It seemed like a nice guy. He was always there for her. He showed her a lot of love, but she didn't love him. There was a guy. His name is Megamind. He was considered to be the most evil guy in the universe. Maybe not in the universe, but on Earth. He had he was too intelligent. He didn't really have superpowers. He was like this crazy scientist who could almost do anything using science. So he wanted this girl, the same girl that the other guy wanted, the camera guy wanted. So he decided to use science to make himself look different, because he didn't look like the kind of guy she would go for. They started to go out on date, but something happened. I think it happened by accident, and she realized that it was not that guy, it was him, and she didn't like him. You know, she should always be covering his stories, and she looked at him as this like awful person. She liked the hero. Like there was this other guy who was like the hero. He was destined to be a hero from the beginning. Megamind was not treated well, so he decided to become a villain. In the beginning, it was actually good. So the main hero ended up faking his own death, and Megamind, you know, because of that, he felt lonely, so he wanted to create another villain. So he decided to take that reporter guy and make him a villain. He gave him some superpowers using science. I don't know how he did it. So when that camera guy gained these superpowers, he became more evil than Mega, like, you know what I mean, than Megamind, because Megamind wanted a hero. So you look at the guy and was like, oh, this guy is gonna be a hero because he's good, he's nice, you know. But when he gave him power, he didn't become a hero. He became a villain, in the worst kind. Now, Megamind has to stop him. He has to stop what it's created. That girl that he loved, he didn't even treat her well after gaining power. He wanted to kill her, I think. He wanted to use her actually to get to Megamind or something. So some people think they're good because, well, they've never had the opportunity to be bad. Right? So you look at some people and you're like, oh, those people are more evil than me because they did this, they did that. If you were in their position, you probably would have done the same or worse. Is God good? If you were God, would you create a world that's much better than this? Wouldn't you change it? It's one of the most important questions. You know, maybe you create a world like this in the beginning. I mean, not a world like this, but a world that's much better than this. A world where everyone is happy. And you look at your creation and you're happy. But then you get bored. You're like, you know what? This is boring. Like, what if we made things a little more interesting? Like, what if I created these conscious beings and then, you know, put them in this world where they have to compete for survival? You know, I'm God. I can do that. I want to ask you a question. Why do we love drama? When Kendrick bodied Drake, everyone was watching. Everyone was talking about it. Why? There's a fight in the street. You're tempted to go and see the fight. Like when we were kids and the fight broke up. Like, we would want to see the fight. Why? You know, we wouldn't be interested in stopping the fight. I remember when we still, let me not even give you this example. When I was working as a teacher, if two kids started fighting and I stopped the fight, the whole class would be like, oh. Why? They're mad that I stopped the fight. They want to see the fight. Why? That's how we are as humans. We are bored by how can I put it? Like, we are bored by just existing. No problem. Just we're bored by peace. Let me put it that way. Human beings are bored by peace. Yeah. I think human beings just want to chill and there's peace 100%. You might look at it that way. You're like, yeah, that's what human beings want. No. They get bored. They become miserable after some time. They want to create. You see, when people do not have problems to deal with, they create problems. Pay attention to Your relationships in general. Like if there are no problems at all, problems will be created. If there are actual problems in your relationship, you want to solve the problems. You feel that you don't love them, but I don't know, your ego does in some ways. It's like there's a part of you that loves that. There's a part of you that's like, this is BS. I don't want to be going through this. Right? So if you were God, wouldn't you get bored by peace? I've made many videos saying that whatever created this world is evil. But I don't know if a lot of people really get what I'm saying here. I'm not saying, oh, I hate. Like, it's not even out of hatred. It's out of, like, it's coming from a place of truth. It's like, yeah, if I were to judge whether what created this is good or bad, I'll say whatever created this is bad. But what I'm also saying is that I'm bad. What I'm also saying is that if you are doing things for selfish reasons, you can't truly be good. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm doing what I want to be doing, even if what I want to be doing is good, but if I don't, if that's not the question, if that's not what is driving me, right? I'm making a decision, but what's driving me is not being good. It's desire, my own selfish desires, and then I'm not good, right? So when you look at God, the God that everyone believes in, he's driven by his own desires. You see, he doesn't put the needs of every conscious being first, the desires of every conscious, it doesn't matter to him. But I'm not saying that because I just hate him and I judge him. Like, no, I understand him. So I'm not saying he's evil because I don't understand him. I'm saying he didn't create this out of love for us. So he created this out of love, but not for us, for himself, for him to enjoy. So you want the drama to continue, even if we do not want. I mean, we do love drama, but there's levels, right? Like there's some drama that you just like, okay, this is just too much. Like this is shocking, you know? Like human beings do like drama. Like when you're watching a movie, do you want to watch a movie where, you know, it's just good things that are happening, there's no problem, the characters are happy, there's nothing to fight, there's no drama at all. There's the reason why we were following the story of Puff. The documentaries that were released, you know, we paid attention when that guy that was dating Elon Musk's ex, when he was in court, is Johnny whatever, we were paying attention. We love drama. But when it's too much, that's when it becomes a problem. And I think the amount of drama that this world has is a bit too much, right? Like it gets to a point where it's just pure abuse. You know, the wars, the unnecessary wars, you know, the diseases, you know, people have serious, you know, I remember I gave you this simple example. I saw a video of this lady. She had rabies. She was dying. She's screaming. You know, she's on top of a bed screaming. She probably doesn't even process what is really happening because it affects the brain. You're like, that's just a bit too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even the devil will look at it and be like, what the hell? Like, it's just a bit too much. It's like, no, man, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't get to that. It's just, no. Car accidents. Ever been in a place where there's an accident just occurred, like a car accident just occurred and people died? You're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just too much. You look at the animals, you're like, so these animals were born so that they can be killed and eaten. So they never really get to enjoy, right? They never get to have fun. Like, they're kept in just one place, and this is allowed in this room. This is a bit too much. Like, I get it. We are all twisted. Even God would have to be twisted in some ways. He would enjoy seeing some beings, struggling, because that's how we are. We are as well. So you can't just say God is all loving and all good if He created this. He isn't. He's just like us. He isn't better. He's just more powerful, and we worship Him based on that. So when you thank God when you win an award, you are also showing how selfish you are, because you are saying you are thanking Him for choosing you, for not choosing the other person. You see, it's the same as if you got involved in a car accident and maybe more than 20 people died, but you survived and you just thank God. It's like, no, there are a lot of other people who have died and who have died a horrible death. So you are not really thanking Him because it's good, because that doesn't prove that it's good. You're thanking Him because He chose you to survive, but that kind of makes Him horrible for only choosing you, for not protecting the other people. So I wouldn't expect God to make everyone's life perfect, because maybe that wouldn't make Him happy. Maybe as God, at the level that, because the same way that, the people who are rich, maybe it doesn't make them happy to make the world a better place. They have the power to do that. They're worth billions. They could decide to start projects that will make the world a better place, right? Elon Musk could decide, you know what, let's stop with the SpaceX thing. Let's stop with that. Like, we do understand that we still want to know what's going on, but there are a lot of problems that, people are going through in their own personal lives. What if we fix the problems that humanity have first? What if we created jobs that are meaningful, right? Jobs that, make sure that we invest also in education, make sure that these kids are actually being taught the right things, and they're going to be the future, and they will be the ones who will actually help us go to Mars. You find that it's not longer hard because everyone is well educated. They could invest in that, but do they want to? No, that's not going to make them happy. They can, and it's very easy. It's like, if that's what people wanted, it's much easier than going to space. If that's what the richest people wanted, that, like, they will make this world a better place within a year. So you understand that they also want to have some fun. They also want to be known as the richest people. They also want to be worshipped. But does that make them good? I also want the same things that they want. People want to have things. You might look at yourself and be like, I'm a good person, but what have you been doing with the power that you have? With the power that you have. You might not be Elon Musk, but what have you been doing? Have you really been kind to people? Or you're just like them. You just don't have the kind of power that they have. So when I make videos talking about God is evil, God is this and that, I am not making it seem like I'm better. Or it might be, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that is what is true. Right? Because like, He's not all good, or, it's not really like that. But I can still understand that with that much power, maybe He doesn't have to be. And that's how the people with power feel. That's how someone like Puff felt. Like, he owns the world. He owns Bad Boy. You are his artist. He can make you run from here to, or from New York to California, whatever. I don't know how far it is. Because I think he's done that. And people are like, but then that was horrible. It's like, well, he feels like a god because of the amount of money that he has. Maybe if you had the money that he has, you'd be worse. I remember I gave you this quote. We are all, it didn't come from like, I forgot who it came from, but in one of the videos that I've made recently, I gave you this quote. We are all, we are selective sinners. You see, we're all sinners actually, but then there are sins that we commit, and there are sins that other people commit that we're uncomfortable with, so we judge them. You see, we all commit sins, all of us. You might be a Christian, but I don't commit sins. I'm listening to God. You see a gay person and you judge them, you hate them with your words, and you don't look at yourself as a sinner. But that's sinning, because you're causing suffering for someone. I mean, even if that person is sinning, even if that makes them a sinner in your eyes, you are the bully in that situation. What if they don't believe that Christians are good? Should they be walking around persecuting Christians? Right? If I don't believe that Christianity is good, should I be walking around persecuting Christians? If I walk around persecuting Christians, won't I be standing, will I not be a hypocrite? It's like, yeah, you gay, I understand, or maybe I don't understand and I wish that you could change, but I'm not going to bully you for it. Because why? It's like God is bullying you for being gay. I'm the one who's doing that, but I view myself as a good person, but I'm not a good person if I'm judging someone for being gay, or if I'm bullying someone for being gay. We're all sinners. I mean, if being gay is a sin, I don't mean that being gay is a sin, by the way. It's not a sin. But I'm trying to attack this subject from the point of view of a Christian. So a Christian would look at a gay person and say that person is sinning, right? So I'm trying to show you that even you as a Christian, you actually judging that person is you sinning. But you don't look at yourself as a sinner. You're a selective. And there are people who are gay who never judge. So they're not sinning in the way that you are sinning, because you think they're sinning, right? So they're not sinning in ways that you are sinning. You understand? You are judging, they're not judging anyone. I don't make this video saying that whatever created this is evil to mean more than what I'm saying, or to make myself seem better. Maybe if I had the power that God had, maybe I will create a world that maybe most of y'all who watch my videos would love, but maybe I'll be sinning in other ways. You find that it's not perfect for everyone. So maybe I will create a world where maybe people who participate in it are people who have chosen to be here, and they even remember choosing to be here. But you find that maybe my ego is too big, right? Maybe, maybe I have a big ego and I'm causing suffering without even realizing it. Like people are not the same, and maybe we can't create a world where everyone is happy. What would have been better is creating a world where different people, those who are too different, are allowed to live in their own places, right? Like what they've done, like in America, for example, in some places weed is illegal, but I think it's legal in California. It should kind of be like that. You know, we should understand that we're different. So we'll be like, okay, if you don't want to live in a place where you're being controlled, being told what to do, they say don't even drink alcohol, don't even play music. No, there's a place, on the other side where all of that is allowed, so you can just go and live there. It should be like that. You know, they shouldn't, like in South Africa, there are a lot of things that are illegal and there are a lot of things that are legal. But it should differ with places. It shouldn't just be like the laws shouldn't affect every citizen everywhere. Like there should be places where you can just be free to do what you want to do. You know, if some people, as long as it's not something that's actually harmful, because some laws might say don't do this, but you find that it's not really something that's harmful. It's just something that someone didn't believe in. I remember a friend introduced me to their friend a few days back. I greeted the friend. The friend used to talk to me, talk about me a lot with that, like that other friend of theirs. So they introduced us. I greeted the friend, and we ended up leaving. And then the friend texted, you know, I mean, that person's friend that I was with texted that person like, "Yo, that person is rude, right? I'm rude." And I was like, I haven't been rude. Say that I was on my phone the whole time. But the only reason why I was on my phone is because I was trying to Uber. I wanted to request and there was no network, and then I did put my phone and then greeted them and we spoke a little bit. So I don't feel that I was rude. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because people are not operating on the same frequency. I think that's how I should put it. Like, we are different, right? So if I created a world that I feel is perfect, maybe someone else will be like, no, that's not perfect. We want a world where our God is telling us what to do, where we are able to worship our God. You know, I don't believe in that. I believe in people being so damn free, reaching high levels of consciousness. You know, should I say Christians are sinner for wanting to worship something that they believe is higher than them? Maybe they enjoy that. I do hear Christians say they love Jesus. They post that on their status. I love Jesus. I love God. You know, they love to worship. They love to roll on the like. It's what they love. I don't love that. It doesn't make sense to me. But that's what they love. So the problem here is that for people who wants to reach high levels of consciousness, who wants to be free, you know, who don't want to be controlled, who don't want to be sent to hell to burn for eternity, who wants to know and understand, this world ain't it, right? So whatever created this, in our perspective as people who are trying to reach high levels of consciousness, that the creator isn't good. But from the perspective of someone who wants to worship, who doesn't mind if someone has power, they feel like that person must do whatever they please. That's fine. They feel like that the God is good, right? So that's the difference here. But if God wasn't selfish and he was trying to do what is best for each and every individual, that's when he will actually be good, meaning that he puts his needs aside. But he can't. Can we? Can we put our needs aside? Can we be totally selfless as humans? The moment I want something, I have to know that there will be things that I will do that are immoral by default. If I want something, you look, let me give you this example. One of my favorite movies, like I'll say this movie is top 10 really. Like, I have to be honest. I love Avengers Infinity War. I think it's one of the best movies ever made, and Thanos is a very interesting character, you know, because there was lack of resources in his home planet. They suggested that, okay, what if, because there isn't enough resources, there isn't much that we can do, and everyone is going to die if there's going to not be enough food, right? So what if we created a system to get rid of half of the people in the planet? Because if there was half of the people, everyone would have enough food and we'll be able to grow again. But it should happen randomly. Well, he was being reasonable, right? But of course they weren't going to agree with him. Of course, like that's crazy. So they didn't, and everyone died. He didn't die because he was ambushed, right? So he's the only survivor. So because of that, he felt that he needed to wipe off half of the universe. Like everyone just had, like half of every living being in the universe had to die. Like that's how he looked at it. Thanos wasn't okay, he was, let me say, He was less selfish than every character that I saw in the movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to him, it was really about saving the universe by eliminating harm. Like, he truly believed in that. Like, it was not about power. He got all the stones, the 5 stones that he needed to control reality and just enjoy himself and whatever. But that was not what he was after. He had enough. Like, if it was about enjoying himself, and he would have enjoyed himself, he would have been happy. He wouldn't even have sacrificed his daughter. He would have been happy. But you could tell that he really wants to save. You know what I mean? He really wants to save the universe. And that's it. After he saved the universe, he destroyed the stones. He could have used the stones. Like, he would have been impossible to kill using the stones. He didn't even want to, like, he lived alone in his planet. He didn't even have guards, right? So he had soldiers, real soldiers who wanted to fight for him. He didn't even have them. He didn't care because he accomplished his mission. That's how selfless he was. But still, there were those who felt he was wrong. They were the good guys in the movie, the heroes, right? He was the villain in the movie. So you could never truly be good to everyone. That is what actually sucks. So what would make sense if I was God, right? If I was God, I would know that I'm selfish. I would know that, okay, there are some of my creations that are just suffering and it's my fault. Maybe they're a bit different. Maybe they don't agree with me a lot, you know, and it's not their fault. They just don't, you know, they will be miserable. Like, even if I brought these people to heaven to worship me 24/7, if time even exists in heaven, they wouldn't be happy. What do I do with them? Do I now feel like, oh, you are evil for not listening to me? Then that's what makes God worse. Because if he's going to say, you're evil for not listening to me, and I'm going to torture you for it, I'm going to torture you for it, that's where he messed up. That's where I drew the line. That's where I was like, he's evil. We all are evil, and if all of us are evil, then no one is. So he's not evil, he's not good or bad, he's just what he is. But then when you get to that level where you say you want to torture your creation for eternity, and that's what people believe, right? The kind of God that people believe in is a God that will do that. That's when we're like, no, that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary. Like, it's unnecessary evil. You see, true evil is unnecessary, right? That's true evil. If someone is doing something out of desire, you can say they're evil because maybe what they're doing is not good in your eyes, right? In your eyes. But if it's out of desire, they're just like you. Maybe you desire to do things that a lot of people consider to be good, but you're still driven by desire, just like they're driven by desire, right? But if it gets to the level where you switch off the part that reasons, where it goes beyond, where it's no longer about desire anymore. It's just about, yeah, you didn't listen to me. You see, it's not even that you desire to torture. It's that you want to torture for the sake of torturing, for control, for power. That's when we look at you and be like, no. You see? So the reason why I would say God is evil, like between God and the devil, the one who's evil is God, is because his evil nature isn't only controlled by his desire. It's not, it goes beyond that. So he's just being evil for the sake of being evil, because that is evil. When you look at the idea of hell, that is evil. You can't justify that. You can't justify people being tortured for eternity in the worst way possible because they didn't agree with you. It's too much. It's extreme. You can gain entertainment in other ways, right? Than seeing your creation suffering. But let's say this was a soul trap. Let's say we weren't created by anything, really. It's just we're really in a soul trap, and that is the final truth. Maybe God will have trapped us here because he needs us. Maybe he needs us for energy, so he's using us. So will that make him evil? I'll say no, it just makes him just like us, because we do the same thing. We keep animals where? Captivity. We don't mind. We look at ourselves as if we're good. There's people who have chicken, who are selling chickens. These chickens have to stay in one place. They're given food, but the real truth is that they're in captivity, and they might not really want to be there. They might be telling themselves that they are kept there for good reasons. They might look at humans and be like, these are our gods, whatever. But we know that we keep them there for selfish reasons, right? So it will mean that God will be like us, to trap us here. So it will actually be up to us to find ways to free ourselves, right? So it wouldn't be about blaming God. You see, when I make videos talking about whatever created this is evil, I'm not even blaming God. I'm actually trying to wake people up to what I consider to be truth. I'm trying to think as honestly as I can. I'm saying if you want freedom, if you want to reach high levels of consciousness, then you can't think that what created this is good, right? Now, if you don't want to reach high levels of consciousness, if you only want to know what your creator wants you to know, and you don't mind being manipulated by what you consider to be a creator or whatever this thing is, like even if it's not your creator, it just trapped you. But if that's what you want, to be controlled, to be told what to do, to be told what to think, to worship it 24/7, then that's good. That's what you want. That's what you desire. That's what makes you happy. Some people want to be told what to do. You know that? Some people actually want to be told what to do. Right? There's a reason why a person will decide to start a company and be like, I do not want to work for anyone. Let me invest in myself. Let me try to start something that is probably going to work. Or that might not even work, but this is what I don't want to be controlled. I don't like having a boss. I want to be my own boss. You see? But some people, they could have enough money and be like, I want to work for someone, right? They feel comfortable working for someone, and they don't have a problem with that. So they do work for other people. And you find that they enjoy that. That's what some people want. So because I want something different doesn't mean that I must be against those who want that. I must realize that we're not the same. So I'm not against those who are saying God is good based on their own reasons. It's fine. But if he takes it too far that he wants to control those who choose freedom, that's where it becomes complicated. You see? That's when you can be like, no, I'm drawing the line because this is not making sense. So I want to be free. Can you imagine if you punished, like you just say you had a farm and there were different animals, you were selling these animals. Let's just say if an animal wanted to escape, you punish it in the worst way possible. Would that mean that you're a good person? Or maybe what it would be best to do is maybe make the security, like maybe make the fence bigger so that maybe it won't be easy for the animal to escape. I don't know. But rather than punishing it, or get rid of the animals that want to escape first. Maybe that will make sense. And if you are that powerful, maybe you'll be able to identify which animals are going to cause problems for you from the beginning. So if God, for example, created heaven and he tested all of us, what would make him good is him taking all these people who want to worship him, the perfect people in his eyes. He'd take them to heaven, and then the ones that he feel are not perfect, he he leave them here, or he makes sure that they become non-existent, like not punish them, not torture them, because that doesn't help. It doesn't. It's torture for the sake of torturing, not even out of desire. You see, the purpose shouldn't be to torture. The desire to torture, that's where we draw the line. Even in movies, the characters that just have desire to torture, we just like, oh, this one is just evil. You see, there's no, like, this villain doesn't even have understandable motives. You watch movies like Joker, not like Batman. I think it's called Batman Rising, something like that. Joker in the movie had understandable motives, right? Being evil for the sake of being evil makes you evil. See, I'm not trying to look at God like as a human, because I don't feel like the world that is created is perfect. I'm trying to look at God from his own perspective. That's why I'm saying, if I was God, what kind of world would I create? Will I be able to create a perfect world? And I can see that I wouldn't be able to. Like, no matter what idea you have, there will always be people who don't agree with that idea. No matter what idea you have, there will always be people who do not believe in that idea. Like, no matter what you think, there will always be someone who will think that you're wrong. If you make great music, there will always be some people who think that your music is whack. There are people who don't like Kendrick, and I think Kendrick is a good rapper. There are people who don't like Pac. Like, Pac made a lot of great music. There are people who don't like Biggie. There are people who like Puff, right? There are people who are siding with Puff. There are people who are saying free Puff. And there are a lot of people who are like, no. There are people who love R. Kelly. There are people who are like, Bill Cosby. This reminds me of a joke that Dave Chappelle made about Bill Cosby. Actually, I wanted to watch that clip first before even recording this video, because I felt like it aligns perfectly well with the message on this video. So Bill Cosby did something really good. Like, I think this is related to Martin Luther King or something. I'm not even sure, but he invested a lot of money in something that is good. So Dave Chappelle was like, I don't even know how to say this on YouTube. He does what he did, but he also saves, and it rhymes, right? What he did, he was accused of doing, and what he was locked up for. Yeah, he did that, but he also saves. So it's crazy, because he's good and he's bad. And that's the thing, is that we are all sinners. We just sin differently. So of course we can't be loved we can't be perfect to everyone. We can't make sense to everyone. Some people will love us even with our flaws. Some people will agree with us even with our flaws. So I just think that it will make more sense if God was a philosopher, to understand his own creation, understand why some people rebel, than to judge them and just be to them controlling. It's like, no. Like, it gets to a point where he's just taking it too far. Like, if I had dogs, right? I love dogs. So if I had like many dogs, and some of these dogs just didn't want to, you know what I mean? They didn't want me as their owner, and I could see that these dogs are not really into it. But they wanted someone else as their owner. Or they just wanted to be free. Maybe it was possible for them to be free to go and live somewhere. Or maybe it was wild animals, right? Let me use this example. They can survive in the wild on their own. If I keep them in captivity and I can see they generally want to be free, they're not happy. And I even punish them for wanting to be free. I don't know if, like, I can say that I'm more evil than I'm supposed to be as a human. Because this is beyond desire. It's like, that's not my desire is not to torture, right? My desire is to keep them in captivity, or to keep them with me, but they also have to be willing. That's what I desire. I cannot desire to keep something in captivity for the sake of, because I want it and that's it. It doesn't benefit. It's not happy. And I even believe that I must torture it, maybe use it as an example. Like, that's when someone can say that I'm evil, you see? Even though we are all sinners. Like, I'm taking it a bit too far. So that's why I say whatever created this world is evil. I'm not saying that whatever created this world is evil, because I don't agree with it, because I'm a bad person, because I'm the devil. It goes beyond that. I'm trying to look at it as honestly as possible. So we need to operate at a level where we are able to see what the truth is and acknowledge it for what it is. If we are going to create a reality that's close to perfect, if we can't create a perfect world, maybe creating a perfect world is impossible. Maybe creating a perfect world is impossible. But maybe operating in truth is better. Especially for the people who watch my videos. I can understand that maybe some Christians or some Muslims or some people who just believe in God will come across my videos and they just not agree with my message. I just think we're just not the same. At the end of the day, that needs to be acknowledged. We're just not the same. Maybe not everyone wants to wake up. Maybe not everyone wants to live in Zion. If you watch The Matrix, what was believed to be the real world, even though, like, if you really pay attention, even Zion doesn't really seem like the real world. But what was believed to be the real world, like, there were people who were living in what was believed to be the real world who weren't happy, who wanted to go back to the Matrix, the false world, right? They wanted to live in a false reality. There are people who rather play video games, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like video games too. Just that when I'm playing video games, I start to feel dizzy, and I don't understand why. So I don't play video games anymore because of that. But there are people who love playing video games. They really enjoy playing video games, and you see that they truly enjoy that. But they don't want to do anything they don't want to go outside and interact with people. They feel like the real world is boring. So we do not want the same things as conscious beings, and we need to be honest about that. We cannot all love the same things as conscious beings. Thank you all guys for watching until the end. Thank you for every like, for every comment. I do read all the comments, and when I make videos, I actually respond to your comments. I might not be responding to your comments directly, but then when I read your comments, I'm like, oh, this is what this person said. Okay, I'm gonna respond to it in this way, you know. So thank you all. Tell me what you think about the video. Share the video. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It really helps a lot. And thank you all for helping me reach 12,000 subscribers. I mean, this channel reached 12,000 subscribers in like it reached more than it got more than 1,000 subscribers last month, I think. No, yeah, last month. So that's something. So yeah, thank you all, guys.